This is the ultimate Steam Deck. First thing is the kill switch case. It may break your bank account, but it will not break your Steam Deck. It provides great protection, and if you get it with the travel cover, then it fits nice and snugly into a bag without taking much space at all. Right, second item is... there we go. A 1TB micro SD card. The default Steam Deck ships with 64 gigabytes at its lowest model, which is just not enough. So picking up one of these is going to let you hold all the games you could ever want or need. They do cost a pretty penny, but they're much easier to install than an SSD replacement. You may have noticed this screen has no glare. Now, it's not because this is the 512 gigabyte model. I'm not that rich, but it is because I've installed an anti-glare matte screen protector, which does the job just as well and for a fraction of the price. This is an absolute game changer playing outside or even in a place with many lights. Or if you're like me and you just don't want to be reminded of what you look like every time you pick this device up. Next up, the Steam Deck dock, an essential. Sadly, it isn't included with the model itself, but it does include lots of ports like USB, Ethernet, USB-C to power, HDMI, and so forth. To be honest, I have no idea what this one is on the end. Leave a comment if you know. I will say, if you are getting this with the kill switch, which I mentioned earlier, you will need one of these on Dbrand's website, a travel kit adapter, which you can just insert here, and it lets the Steam Deck sit nicely on, like that. There are much cheaper docks online from companies like JSOCKS, but I'm not always certain if it would fit the Steam Deck with this case. You can take the risk if you want. I just couldn't be bothered, frankly. But it doesn't stop there, because the ultimateness is bigger on the inside. Now, please, 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 if you have a Steam Deck, get plugins. If you do not have plugins, you're doing it wrong. You can easily get them by going on the desktop and going on the website Decky on a browser. You can do many things with the plugins. For example, I've got CSS Loader, I've got SteamGrid DB, I've got Animation Changer, Audio Loader, EmuDecky, Battery Tracker, and Vibrant Deck. CSS Loader basically lets you install a bunch of customization modifications you can make. SteamGrid DB lets you have custom artwork for your games, which is very nice. As you can see, for example, Terraria here, this is not the stock game art it comes with. I've changed that myself. Yeah, it just adds another layer of customization. Animation Changer is a very fun one. Lets you have a custom boots up video, which is great because the Steam Deck has very limited options of what you can buy on the Steam Point store. You can see there's many stupid, silly ones here. Yeah, it gets pretty crazy. I promise there are some normal ones as well. That's just a few of them. If you want to see what the others do, explore it yourself. Trust me, it is worth it. Next thing I would highly suggest is some sort of emulation. I've got Dolphin here, as you can see. I mean, this is literally what Steam Deck was made for in a way. And you can see I can play all these fantastic classics on the deck. Don't worry, Nintendo approved it. Another cool thing you can do is go into System and do beta participation, which lets you have access to new features Steam are releasing. And one of the ones I like personally is in power. And you can set a charging limit to 80%. So when you're charging the deck, it doesn't go beyond that point, which could damage the lithium battery. So yeah, that's a nice way to preserve the battery life. I'm sure there's other cool things you can do by being a beta participant. But yeah, I have not delved into that other than this. And the last tip is to just have fun. This is your console. You can do whatever you want. You know, unlike some console manufacturers where it's very, you know, a locked system and you have to follow their rules exactly. The Steam Deck really offers, you know, a chance to explore, be creative, and just do whatever you want. So have some fun with it, see how you like it. This was a very rapid fire video, but you know, you got to keep up with Gen Alpha and their attention spans. So for that, I'm sorry. But teaser for next episode. Peace.